Hello, everyone. I'm Candy Kristoff, and welcome to your Tuesday Legacy Lesson. I'm super excited to be with you today. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I'm Candy Kristoff, and I am the self-proclaimed Power Couple Coach because I feel that I have been called to the next level of service. You know, you can do what you can to help people on an individual basis, but in my career and in my history of doing business and ministry, I've seen the need. I've seen the need of leaders who need to have a confidant and a go-to person that they can confide in when they are going through struggles. You see, as a multi-million-dollar or million-dollar business owner, however you want to categorize it, I've learned a thing or two. And the things that I have learned is that it is lonely at the top. It is. You've heard that cliche 1,000 times. It's lonely at the top. I'm here to tell you it is. There are people who I thought was going to be with me every step of the way to the end of the journey. That's not here. Just not. And there are people who I thought didn't care that much about me or my journey or my purpose that have been there like glue. I'll never forget when Andre and I were separated. And for those of you who don't know, we were just 72 hours shy of divorce property settlement after 32 years of marriage. After 32 years of marriage. And I had a friend of the family to call and ask how I was doing. And I told her I was doing fine. And long story short, she had not heard that we were separated. And when I told her that, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, I've been through that. I'm sorry you're going through that." And then an hour, maybe two at the most later, I saw a vehicle driving in my driveway. And I was like, "Such and such, what are you doing here?" And she said, "You told me that you and Dre were separated." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, I know you need me. I know you need me." Wow. There are some people that God has purposed in your life to where when you need them, you don't even have to ask. There are some people in your life that God has purposed for in your darkest hour. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to say a word. So she and her husband came and they prayed with me. And she sat with me. She sent her husband off and sat with me and consoled me and allowed me to just vent how I was feeling and what I was doing and going through. And of course, Andre and I have reconciled, and here we are 3 years out and still going strong. And at year 32 of all of this, I found myself asking God, why? God, why? Make this make sense to Candy Kristoff. And what he gave me was purpose that pain. Purpose that pain. So as a result, I've always had a desire to write. From Louisiana College, sitting in my first English class, we were given assignments to write, and there I wrote my first poem, The Game of Life, and it still resonates today, and it is also included in my books. And I went on and I got it out. I wrote Business on the Legacy Ladder, a book and workbook, so that you can go to and you can read and you can get the help that you and your partner need. The second book I wrote was Marriage, Make It Last. Marriage, Make It Last. Book and workbook. The third book was Ministry, because Ministry, I think, was part of the issue that Dre and I was having. And you may think, ministry? How does ministry have a part with that? Well, I've said before that I felt that Dre's motorcycle and his Zydeco was his girlfriend. Well, he thought my ministry was my boyfriend. So ministry, how to be spiritually strategic. And then my last book that I wrote, The Adultery Trap. That's one you really, really got to make sure you get the book and the workbook for. And so here is the series of you can have both. You can have your marriage and your business in leadership. You can have your ministry and you can have joy in your marriage while you serve wholeheartedly to God. And so bringing all that home, I know that there are ministers and there are leaders who are over a flock of people or who are influencers, thought leaders, who need to have someone that they can go to in confidence, that can have someone that you can pour into in your darkest hours. Because God did not intend for you or me to go through this alone. One thing that has helped me along the way has been Tyler Perry said in one of his speeches that he gave, he said along the way he found that some people are going to be like leaves. They'll stick with you, but at the first little wind, they're gone. They're gone. Some will be like a little twig. A little wind that's a little heavier come along, and they're gone. And some will be like branches. It'll take the right storm, but they'll leave you as well. He said, what we need to do is we need to get us some good root systems. We need to have us connected to some solid roots so that no matter what hurricane, no matter what tornado, no matter what storm that life brings your way, you'll be grounded and you'll be rooted. And so today, I want to talk to you about when leadership looks strong on the outside, but the marriage behind it is breaking. Been there, done that. There are hidden crises inside of marriages. You know, when we were growing up, we would always hear the saying, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And through the years, that's what we're taught. Until we get older and we find that we have companionship in our girlfriends, in our family members, and then in your close confidants, when there's struggles going on inside of your marriage, you want to keep that close because when family is still upset with your loved one or your spouse, and you all have gotten over the hiccup, you'll find that those family relations are forever different. Meanwhile, you're like, why is it that this one still has an attitude and we're good now? Well, it happens. And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And yes, I'm in my purple. I will be at Louisiana Christian University speaking this afternoon about dating violence and domestic violence. So Louisiana college students, I look forward to being with you all this afternoon. But especially in homes where there's domestic violence, you're taught to keep that a secret. And so even while things are going on the outside and looking good, things are boiling on the inside. You know, we all have gone to church a time or two when hell was breaking loose at home. But when you step out that car, that smile's on your face and everything's good to go, especially if you are a leader of the church. If you are a leader of an organization or a ministry, You'll find that you put on faces. You find that you act as if everything's all right, when in your heart and your soul, you know that problems are going on. And whenever church service is over with, you know you're going to go right back to it and don't know how to get unstuck where you are. I'm sharing with you because I know. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt for that. There are times when leaders are exhausted and yet the spouse is silent. And the spouse is silent because they're exhausted. They don't know what to do. Dre would often say, Candy, I don't want to come between you and God. And he knew I wasn't going to allow that. And he would often say, how can I say to you that I need and want more of you when you're giving all you got to God? There are wives and there are men, husbands, who feel that their spouse is devoted to a cause greater than they are. And they just don't know how to get you to give balance. You know, when you go for the day and you wake up in the morning and you're refreshed and you're ready to go, and you give 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 and you give. And when you come home, all you can do is crash because you're plumb depleted to where you don't have anything else to give at home because you've given it all to your community. You've given it all to your ministry. You've given it all to people who aren't as strong as you. But yet you find yourself weak. Yet you find your marriage vulnerable. I'm talking to you. If you are a member of an association or denomination and you have a pastoral care team, make sure you let your pastoral care leader know that Candy Kristoff is now here and ready to serve them. I am here and ready to serve power couples by coaching them through their darkest days, through their intense hours. Let's talk a little bit more about those pain points that leaders have, oftentimes financial and faith fatigue. You know, you've been praying and praying that they'll soon give in, that they'll recognize you. Are you praying and praying that your loved one will join you in the ministry, that they will be on fire with you, serving right there with you, lifting up the kingdom and helping others? And you wait and you wait and you wait. And soon you're fatigued on the faith. God, I'm married and I want to serve you. And I see other couples serving God together. I want my spouse to serve you with me wholeheartedly, passionately. I want them there so that we can serve together. And the light on that possibility is getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And the more you serve, the more they seem like they are saying, hi, that's not for me. I'll volunteer when you need me, but don't count on me to do something that you just absolutely don't need me for. You know who I'm talking to and what I'm talking about, because this is not something that was unique to my marriage. It's not something that's unique to a lot of marriages. The difference is I'm willing to be transparent with mine. Why? Because my grandmother told me, you find yourself between a rock and a hard place to learn a lesson from it, for it to make you stronger and wiser, and so that you can share your journey, your experiences with others, so that they won't get stuck where you once got stuck at. So if you're having a woman's retreat or a woman's meeting or men's meeting, and you need to hear that other perspective, you need to gain some insight from a therapist as well as somebody who's been there and done that, I'm your girl. I am your girl. I'm Candy Kristoff, and you can find me at Candy Kristoff Speaks and Candy's Legacy Blueprints, because you know we have a legacy that we must protect. God has called us to serve at a higher level, but he did not intend for us to lose our spouse or fall out of covenant with our spouse in the process. We must be spiritually strategic. And I'm going to show you and share with you how we've been able to do it, because we're living proof. We're living proof that you can have both. Another area of pressure is that when your reputation override your restoration. You see, leaders often hide behind personal crisis and for fear of scandal. The organization ends up managing damage instead of building depth, because the pastor or the leader of the organization has decided that I can't tell anybody or anyone or let the congregation know that we're having problems. After all, how can we lead a marriage group and our marriage is struggling? How can we tell people how to overcome addiction and mental health when we're battling our own? How can we? Should we risk losing flock, losing reputation, losing stamina of reputation? These are real issues that leaders in the ministry and leaders in businesses and multi-million-dollar businesses deal with on a daily basis. Also, we have high turnover rate from hidden trauma. If you think about it, when staff is late or are late, when you have high turnover rate, when you have to terminate an employee, even a good one, it's normally because there are problems going on at home. It's normally hidden behind trauma that they're trying to deal with as best that they can. Think about it. When a business invests in an employee or a ministry has a volunteer, you've invested time in that person for them to learn your system, for them to learn how things work, for them to be able to serve you at the level that they can. They don't want to lose what they're doing because it does something for them, whether it's at a bare basics of bringing them a paycheck, or whether it's helping them to feel better by helping others who need, or sharing life experiences to help somebody else get over and overcome. They don't want to lose what they have invested, time and money. One of the number one reasons why people stay in domestic violence situations or toxic situations is because they feel like I've invested too much time. Likewise, employees feel like I've invested too much money in this person. I want to try to hang on there, but when they feel that there's not going to be the change that is needed to move the organization to the next level, termination is what has to occur. And at that recourse, not only does the organization loses, but the employee loses as well. So I say to you that if you are in a business and you are the CEO or the director, you are the one that's writing the checks, you are over HR, trauma and home crises and problems are costing you your bottom line. When you have goals that you've set for your agency to meet and your staff is not able to meet that goal, it's either because they don't have a clear direction or they are pulled by other things that's going on in their mindset, in their hearts, and in their homes, that's costing you money. I say that because I've experienced that too. We've done that and got the bag of chips for that too. But you don't have to stay stuck. You don't. And you don't have to choose between your business and your leadership legacy and your covenant in marriage. You really, really can have both. And I'm Candy Christoph, and I'm here to help you all that I can by sharing what I've gone through and by helping you to strategically be purposeful in overcoming in business and in ministry and in marriage. And I promise you, you can have both. Healthy couples make strong leaders. Healthy couples make strong leaders, and strong leaders sustain thriving organizations. That's why I'm stepping forward to help as the Power Couple Coach, to help associations, to help ministries, to help professional networks, to restore marriages behind their mission, to rebuild connections before they collapse, to realign personal pace with professional purpose, to create cultures of wholeness where leadership and love can coexist. Your legacy nugget for this broadcast is: an organization is only as healthy as the homes of the people who lead it. Think about that. Your organization, your ministry is only as healthy as the homes of the people who lead it. If you strengthen the couples in your organization, if you strengthen the couples in your ministry, that's where true legacy begins. I'm here to serve notice that your house may be on fire, that there may be cracks in the foundation to your organization, that your bottom line may be more in the red than you think that it is, because the homes of the leaders that are serving you are in danger, are in danger. How can I help? One, know that I have a love and leadership reset class that's coming up. It's a virtual class that's coming up the first week of November. You need to make sure that your ministry leaders are attending that virtual conference. Now, it's going to be at 10 o'clock a.m. Monday through Friday for the first week of November. You will be able to go to Candy's Legacy Blueprints or Candy's Speak or my Facebook page, and you'll be able to sign up there for it. You can also put your name in the comment section, and we will be glad to send you a registration form for it. There, if you're not able to attend the 10 a.m. session live, know that we will be having the replays for you so that you and your spouse can listen to it each afternoon at a time that's most convenient for you. I will also have a VIP section so that persons who want to ask me specific questions to how to solve an issue immediately or thrust you further along your journey will be able to do so. Right after our Love and Leadership Reset regular class, we will be able to go to the VIP one-on-one session. And if you sign up for that, you will be able to have a one-on-one with me. I will be having classes, coaching sessions, 90-day sessions for those who who are in ministry and those who are leaders of organizations so that we can make sure that you're on solid foundation. It is nothing to be ashamed of. It is through our hardest battles, when we are made our weakest, that the Christ within us is strengthened. It is when we overcome that we can help others overcome. So I beg of you, don't be ashamed of where you are. Where you are is purpose. It is purposeful, and it will help you to soar and serve mighty at the next level that you're destined for, whether it is in business or whether or not it is in ministry. The struggles that you are going through, again, don't be ashamed of it. It is purposed and it is purposeful for you to be able to serve at the next level of service in your business or ministry. I'm Candy Christoph, and you've had your legacy lesson for today on how to overcome struggles in your business and your ministry, how to get ready to serve at the next level. And as one of my favorite ministers say, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Because when leadership looks strong on the outside, but behind the scenes, your marriage is breaking, it's a warning sign. And if you don't stop and take care of the bleed, you can have a catastrophe. I'm living proof. Now, there are some of you that are going through it. I want to say to you, I have too. I have too. And there are some of you that may be wondering, can my marriage be saved? Can I forgive? Is the struggle too hard for you to forgive? I want to say to you, I thought I had forgiveness down pat. I am a treatment provider. I provide services to court-mandated clients, to people who have done horrific things throughout my career. Whether it's sex offending, whether it is substance abuse, whether or not it has been mental health or addiction, I've provided services to those array of complex problems that have bled on into marriages. And I thought I could forgive anybody for anything, except when it hit home so hard with me. I didn't think I could forgive. Now, you might think, from a Christian standpoint, from a ministry leader standpoint, how could you say that you had a problem forgiving? I did. I know what it feels like to go through the problems of having intrusive thoughts that pop into your mind that you can't control. I know how it feels to feel like you want to fight someone because the hurt has been so real. And I'm here to tell you that I've been there, done that, got the bag of chips for it. And I'm so grateful that now Andre and I are in a space that we can say that we can help others get unstuck where we once got stuck at. I'm so grateful that our marriage and our lives are so much sweeter than it was. And I would be the first one to say, I didn't know if it was possible. I didn't know if I had what it took to forgive. I didn't know if I could deal with the intrusive thoughts, didn't know if I could forgive the temptation to be physically aggressive because a trigger came and I didn't know how to handle it. And I'm here to tell you that if we can do it after 32 years of marriage, you can do it. You can do it. Harriet Tubman had to go back to where the enslaved was slaved, go through the wilderness and the jungle over and over and over again, through harm's way, to bring others to safety. And Andre and I together have united now with the purpose of making sure, like she, that we bring as many couples to safety. I'm Candy Christoph. I am your power couple coach for both business and ministry couples. Please share this video with someone that you know may be in need. If you have a ministry care team, let them know that I'm here and I'm ready to serve. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.